Sanskrit, utkutasana. Utkutasana. Okay, so I'll show you the side view of utkutasana. Inhale, breathe. After 5 breaths, stand up tall, release the pose. Okay, so it looks like you're sitting down in the chair. What actually happens is you're using a lot of muscles of your legs, your core muscles, your back, and your arms. So it's really good for warming up the body. You want to use it at the beginning of the class, and sometimes as well at the middle of the class when things might be slowing down and you want to kickstart things up. Okay, so let's have 2 versions of utkutasana. One version is with your feet hip distance apart. When your feet are hip distance apart, this gives you better balance than when the feet and knees are together. Okay? So feet hip width apart. Standing up tall, press your feet down, anchor them down. Spine is tall and long. Inhale, your arms up, arms by your ears. Really extend through the fingers. And now start to bend your knees like you're sitting down on a chair. Continue looking forward, or you can look up. So some points to show you here. My tailbone is just pointing straight down, just neutral. I didn't do any change. So I'm not doing this, and I'm not tucking in either. So let me show you again. I'm not doing this, and I'm not doing this. Right, second version. Feet together, knees together possible. Sometimes your knees won't come together, it just depends on your anatomy. So it's the same thing. Like you're sitting down on the chair, sitting back, you can look up, you can look forward. Let me show you some variations as well for the arms. You can do eagle arms. You can do arms wide as your shoulders. Your shoulders should be away from your ears. Or you can have hands together. You can try as many variations as you want with your hands. Now, let's talk about the knees. You'll notice when you become a yoga teacher that the 2 common injuries that you will always encounter would be the knees or the back. Or at the beginning of the class you ask students, does anybody have any injuries or things that they're worried about? Some of them will say perhaps their back, some of them perhaps the knees. So in utkutasana you have to be careful about the ligaments connecting the knee joint. So what we always say is you want to keep your knees in line with your toes. So, knees in line with your toes, not this way. Knees in line with the toes as much as possible. You can check this. If you can sort of lift your toes up and down, you're able to move your weight a little bit back. Normally, you want your weight spread evenly on the feet and the toes, but with utkutasana, you're sitting back a little bit. You can test this by lifting the toes up and down. Okay? Now, if you're not prone to knee problems, or if your student is not prone to knee problems, it's not a disaster if your knees go over your toes, okay? Some poses you can do that, all right? But as yoga teachers, sometimes we don't know beforehand who has knee problems and who doesn't have knee problems. Sometimes the students don't know themselves. So we want to be careful and we just ask the students to keep the knees in line with the toes. Standing up tall to release the pose. Maybe shake your legs a little bit. And that's it. Congratulations, you've done Utkutasana.